Hey guys, it's Kaylee. I am back again with another fall and winter sourcing video. In today's video, I'm going to share 3 things with you that I consistently sell year after year, categories that do very well for fall and winter. You guys really liked the last video, and so I'm thinking of doing a series of this. So this will be part 2 of this whole series, and I've got another one queued up that I hope to film today. I have some live examples for you here behind me that I'm going to be putting in an upcoming Whatnot show. If you guys haven't ever heard of Whatnot, they are an online buying and selling live auction platform. They have an app and a website. I personally love them for both buying and selling, but recently I have been really into the selling and I am challenging myself to sell trending items to you guys every single week. Lately, we have just started diving into get ready for fall sales. That's actually what this rack is here. I'm about to conduct this show tomorrow. And then if you guys are interested in checking out the next fall winter show, one where I'm actually going to be live auctioning these 3 items, as well as a bunch of other fall and winter stuff on this rack, is happening August 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will be with myself and Joe. So if you're interested in getting prepared for fall, grabbing some great items for yourself or some items to flip, come check out that show. If you use the link below and the link here on the screen, you can get $15 off of your very first purchase that you can use on this show, or you could use it on any show happening on Whatnot. And they are having hundreds of shows happening all the time. It is not just clothing. I hope to see you guys there. You could get a really great deal, especially if you use that link below to get $15 off of your first purchase. Right, back into these items. So like I said, these are 3 categories or factors that I look for every single year. I have been doing reselling for quite a while now, many years, and there are just things in every season that I look for that just do well every single time. And that's why I really like these videos, because we can focus not on brands, but really categories and factors as a whole. And I picked 3 so we can kind of slow it down for you guys and really talk about these items so you're not passing on them while you're at the thrift store. First one is going to be leather jackets. These factors that I'm going to be talking about today, or categories rather, can be things that can really elevate a brand that you might not typically get, but because it has a factor like suede or real leather, it might actually be a bolo that you might be passing on. So this right here is a really cool jacket. It is a vintage suede leather jacket, super westerny, and has tons of fringe. Very similarly to the last video where we talked about cashmere, if you're ever unsure if something is the real material, which is going to be the case with leather, you're gonna wonder, is it faux leather, vegan leather, or is it real leather? Then do what we did with the cashmere. Just look on the inside, check the material tag. In this case, the brand is actually stating it, which is Diamond Leathers. And even if you are not great at feeling the fabrics, you can always rely on the material tag inside to determine. Speaking of, sometimes even the faux and vegan leather things can do better because people are looking for that. So this is a really great example of a brand probably nobody knows about, but it's got some really great factors. There's also different kinds of leather. This one is suede. I'd highly recommend getting to know what the different types of leather are. Such a fantastic item, very on trend. I can't wait to see what this goes for in the Whatnot show. I love all of the interesting details on it. There are many different kinds of leather. Like I said, suede leather, just plain regular leather. There's also different softness to leather. Typically, anytime I feel a super soft and supple leather, it's a good indicator to me that it might be a very high quality item. There are things like goat leather and lambskin leather. Those things are a little bit more rare to come across, and so oftentimes it also means that it is an increased value. So definitely make sure to include the type of leather when you're looking up your comps, because it's really going to affect sell-through rate as well as your pricing. So if I were to look this up, I would definitely be looking up suede leather, and I would also be including fringe. This is a fantastic piece regardless of brand. So leather can really elevate an item, and it is definitely something people are looking for fall and winter. Leather can be lightweight, but it can also be heavy. And there are many different kinds of leather bolos. I'd highly recommend you check out leather jackets and do a comp on the eBay sold and just study what styles, what brands, what types of leathers are selling really, really well. All right, this next one is kind of a surprising category. It's kind of niched, but it is one that performs very well for me every single year. So every time I come across one of these, at the very least, I am looking them up. The same goes for all of these items and all of the videos. Just because we say leather is good does not mean you should pick up every single leather item. Always do your comps with what you have, but it could be a good indicator for you that you need to comp it. And that is true of ponchos. Now, ponchos can be made of many different things, but these sweater ponchos are very trendy during this time of the year. I actually think we kind of have like a Western-y theme going on in today's video. We've got the leather jacket, we've got the poncho, and then we've got this guy, which we're about to talk about in a second, but this is a very like Western kind of themed show. So this is a poncho. A poncho is basically a sweater or a jacket that kind of has like no shape. And sometimes it does have armholes, like this one does have an armhole, or sometimes it just basically drapes over your shoulder. But this is a poncho sweater. There are all kinds of factors that could be included in a poncho sweater. Like you can see this one has a lot of fringe, the different types of knit that it might have, or the different types of material. This one is a collaboration with J. Crew. And oftentimes, like this one is, ponchos are one size fits all. So if you see 1S or OSFA, that's generally speaking a one size fits all, and people really like them because they are more oversized and they generally fit everyone. Like I said, it is definitely more of a niched down category, and I think that's why it does so well, because not every company puts out something like this, and if they do, they are in smaller batches. So again, don't go picking up every single poncho that you might find, but definitely look into it. Some of my best finds are the cashmere ponchos and the merino wool ones. I think people just like being able to quickly pop something over. And like I said, it kind of goes along with that Western-y theme. Also somewhat Logan look, gives that oversized look that is very trendy right now. All right, and the next one, which is actually something that we deep dived in the Resellers Edge group on the Monday call this morning, which is Novelty Prints. So we did a deep dive into all kinds of bolo prints in sweaters. This one is a fleece sweater jacket, and you can see it's got a ton of novelty prints. So novelty print would be any kind of fun, whimsical, typically animals, honestly, that you see on a sweater or a sweater jacket. This one has a polar bear, it has penguins, it has reindeer, it has all kinds of fun things on it. So you definitely want to keep your eye out for wacky jackets, wacky sweaters. But specifically novelty prints, you'll know them when you see them. They give off a very cozy nostalgia feel, and they're typically good as you get closer towards the holidays. And like I've said in many what sold videos lately, people are looking for things that stand out, the more one-of-a-kind pieces. This is definitely a more one-of-a-kind piece. I'm gonna pop up here on the screen just an example of a bolo that you might want to look for, where a novelty print sweater, knowing that factor really comes in handy. And you don't really need to know all of the bolos that all novelty print sweaters have. Just need to know that if you come across a novelty print sweater or a jacket, to actually look it up. And then that will tell you whether or not you should actually be buying that item. There are many, many different brands that put out novelty sweaters, including mall brands. Like I said, these factors can really elevate a piece. So mall brands like J. Crew and Taylor Loft, they also have novelty print sweaters that can go for good money during fall and winter. So the novelty prints can really elevate a piece. This can be such a good factor to look for at the bins because they really stand out. And to be honest, it is something that a lot of people pass on. This is honestly such a cool fleece jacket. Like I said, this is going to be going in the show. So if you really like this one, which I really do, I think it is so cool, this will be in the show. All right, you guys, so those are 3 categories that are tried and true for me. They are factors that I look for regardless of brand during fall and winter, and they sell and pull sales through for me every single year. I hope that you guys learned a little bit from this video. If you guys are liking these deep dives into 3 styles, 3 factors, 3 categories for the upcoming season, then let me know down below and I will continue making them. And hopefully, if you guys like them enough, when the next season rolls around, you know, once we get through winter and we're about to hit spring again, I can update you guys before spring actually hits and do the same kind of series. I think it's very important to know not only what is, you know, the hottest new thing right now, but also what is tried and true every single year. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are not already, consider subscribing down below, hitting that notification bell, and then hitting all. If you do that, you won't miss one of my videos because YouTube will notify you every single time I put one out. Thanks again so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.